is the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from our audio-visual studios right here in its main crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Welcome to Hard Facts. And like I always say, this is the best kind of radio that you will experience, you know. Yes, because we bring you the best of talk, politics, current affairs, and most importantly, news. And what's very interesting is that you get to have a say in every single conversation. How's that? Anyway, my name is Maryann Okon. This is Hard Facts. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You could join the conversation on WhatsApp 080-959-75805. Or better still, you could join the conversation on our lines 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. But we're starting off the weekend into the new week. Of course, this is the big weekend. We bring you stories that have continuously stayed in the news from all through the weekend into the brand new week. And of course, even stories that are breaking today. And I think one that's really caught my fancy is the U-turn of the National Assembly, which wasn't originally in my news bulletin, but I'm interested in talking about that if you're open to talking about that, because I'm going to have a conversation, full-blown one, on Thursday. I'm going to have a law professor join me to talk about that. But now that there's a U-turn of sorts, it gives the conversation a whole new perspective. Maybe we're now going to be talking about best ways of getting voters to be more interested in voting as opposed to voter apathy. So welcome. This is how we start the conversation on Hard Facts, because we are ready to go. So you can be part of the conversation. Join us live right now.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the Big Three Stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
The big weekend.
Indeed, it is the big weekend on Hard Facts 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's start with the story of Nigerian air being taken off the table completely. So the bubble juice, for the want of a better way to describe it, you're fed by Hadi Sirika and the Buhari administration, which has obviously come to light. Hadi Sirika was docked. We still not have heard the last of it. He was docked, but then Professor Keyamo is telling us that, well, that's no longer in the cards. We're just going to face our local carriers here and see what we can do with it. But that also they're going to demolish the old Lagos airport terminal. And I'm asking, why is it necessary? Have you been to the Jomo Kenyatta airport in Kenya? It's massive. It has different wings. Same thing for the Emirates airports. It has different wings. So there's nothing wrong with having wing 1 and wing 2. Have you been to the Hartsfield Jackson airport in Atlanta? They have different. What's the reason for demolishing it? So we can waste money to build another one. Why can't we just upgrade the systems in those areas and try to just, why do we have to break it down? It's just out of curiosity. But anyway, this is what the Vanguard is telling us, that the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has said the federal government has jettisoned the National Carrier Project. In other words, all the money that was voted to deal with that, I'm guessing that we will have to ask questions so that we know where those monies went. I'm guessing that you and I we're going to ask questions. We're not just going to let it go because Festus Keyamo has said, yeah, we're just going to move on to other ideas, you know. In the meantime, let's focus on our... Well, he's saying that they've jettisoned that idea, stressing that it is now focused on supporting the growth of local carriers. Great idea in itself, if you ask me. But what about the monies that were voted to the so-called national carrier and the fake drama that we watched under the Buhari administration? Keyamo also expressed dismay over the condition of the old terminal airport in Lagos, saying plans were in progress to demolish it and build a new. Why? Someone who's in aviation can help me explain why it is necessary. Because there are old and new terminals everywhere. All they need to do is upgrade it. Why demolish? Because I flew through there late last year. What's wrong with it? Anyway, let's move away from that. Well, let's talk about the the FCT minister and the drama that happened over the weekend. Now, the PDP obviously had a meeting, a reconciliatory meeting that didn't necessarily end well because Wike has pulled out of the PDP's reconciliation deal and blames Governor Makinde for the party crisis. His one-time good friend, part of the, what do they call them again? 5G or something. Or G5, yeah? Well, according to the Punch newspaper, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has pulled out of all reconciliatory agreements previously reached within the People's Democratic Party, accusing the key party leaders of betrayal, dishonesty, and serial violations of mutual understandings. In a statement yesterday, Wike traced the roots of the PDP's internal turmoil to the aftermath of the 2023 general elections, lamenting what he described as a steady decline into dishonesty and lack of trust among its key stakeholders. It didn't stop there. He said, and I quote, "Since after the 2023 elections, the PDP has been wantonly swinging from one part of the slippery precipice to another." He also noted that several efforts had been made to arrest the virus of dishonesty and treachery. He said, "I made it clear to the governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Seyi Makinde, that he was the architect of our problems, pointing out to him that non-adherence to agreements reached was the bane of the party and that he was the chief culprit of this anomaly." End of quote. Did you see this coming? Did you see the war between two very good friends, one out of the G5? Could this also have been a plan that we could have seen from a mile away, that at some point he was going to pull out, so let everything fall down? Or are you surprised? Let's move away from that. Still more stories from the weekend. Let's see. Marketers kick as Port Harcourt refinery faces shutdown for maintenance. So, I mean, that was the biggest story for the weekend, you know, when they said, oh, we're shutting it down. We're going to do a lot of, you know, maintenance. And we're asking, what did he do when you opened it? He didn't do anything. And now you want to shut down for maintenance. But, hey, the Port Harcourt Refining Company will be shut down anytime soon to undergo a maintenance exercise that could last 30 days. Well, some retailers told the Punch newspaper's correspondent that the facility was shut down on Thursday night, but the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited said the plant was still operational as of Friday. However, on Friday, fellow retailers in Eleme and Okrika and other communities hosting the Port Harcourt refinery kicked against plans to shut it down. According to them, the refinery coordinator, Bayo Ademile, I beg your pardon, had ordered the shutdown of the facility for unknown reasons. The group spoke through a statement jointly signed by its board of trustees and chairman. Petron. They also allege that some individuals are making efforts. Some individuals are making efforts to cripple the revamped 60,000 barrel per day capacity refinery. If I might ask, how much output has Port Harcourt refinery given since it started? Because, you know, we hear all kinds of stories. We really don't know what to believe. And then with the whole EFCC saying that they're, you know, investigating the top echelon guys who just shun the door or booted out, one really doesn't know what to expect. Or I don't know. I've never been able to have a clear picture, no matter what they say, with what's happening with the NNPCL. But share your thoughts with me. Do you think that this shutdown is necessary and important? And then, of course, my final story. I want to play a video quickly. When I play that video and come back, we'll talk. There was some sort of row in the... there was a reconciliatory a coalition meeting that saw the likes of Rotimi Chibuike-Amechi, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar. I even heard Donald Duke was in the mix. There was a row because, according to the stories, Jigawa people were more like undecided as to who would speak on their behalf. But this video is brought to you courtesy of Punch newspaper. It was a very interesting thing to see on the weekend, and for some reason I did not understand why. This would be the picture of what we call a coalition. All right. Chaos is an understatement. Chaos is an understatement. But that is what we saw on the weekend. But here's Peter Obi speaking at that same coalition. There are many who have said, oh, he says the same thing over and over again. But have our problems changed? I'm just curious. And then what do we do with this information is the other question that I ask.
We used to lose Kaduna Trade Fair 2 years for you to get the space. Today, nobody goes there. We used to go to Maiduguri for cash. Today, nobody goes there. That is the poverty. And when you have poverty, you have criminality that you cannot control. Because when people don't know where the next thing will come from, you can never control their action. And there isn't the truth. But in all these, it all rests squarely on government to solve. And I've always said the North can change Nigeria. The greatest aspect of this country is in the North. We can make more money. I say it every day. We can make more money from farm agriculture than we make from oil. And I'm starting to prove everything. This entire country produces less than 6 million tons of rice. That is less than 10% of what Bangladesh produces. Bangladesh is a country that lives on 148,600 square kilometers of land. That is the size of 2 northern states. Niger at 76.3 and Borno at 70.8 is equal to Bangladesh. And Bangladesh has a population of 170 million. So if you divide their 146 by this, it's less than about 800 square meters when these two states have over 13,000.
This was an amateur video, obviously shot by someone in the crowd, but let me give you the gist of it. He's talking about the fact that there's so much money to be made from the North, but then we're allowing it, and this is me just rephrasing, it to be ravaged by insecurity. And he talks about how trade fairs used to be held in Kaduna and in several other parts of the country, but now you can't even go there. And that there's a lot more money to be made outside of petrol and crude oil, but that we're not harnessing those potentials. Welcome to Hard Facts. The phone lines are open: 0201 277 0993, 0201 465 7190. You can join the conversation If you are listening to us from outside of the country, you can join us via WhatsApp. Call us if you're listening from outside of the country on WhatsApp. It's 08095975805. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Gabriel calling from Lekki.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Maryann, that is very good for PDP. That is very good for them. I'll be shouting it. Sack this man. See, Maryann, I don't know. You have incompetent people. Is it this kind of PDP that want to rule us? Are they the one or be another one? Maryann, for Peter Obi, this coalition that is doing with all these past rulers that have taken us nowhere. They said if you want to eat with the devil, use a long spoon. I won't say more than that. Maryann, please do enjoy the rest of your day.
You
God
too.
bless.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. I have 56 seconds. I have 50 seconds. If you can use that time before we go on a break, go.
Maryann, how are you? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You have a title of what here calling from Ikeja. Can you hear me very
Yes,
well?
go ahead. You have 40 seconds.
Thank you. Number one, just like the first caller said, I think PDP is not serious. Wike has told you he's going to work for Tinubu. He's part of Tinubu, and he told his part, why are you calling me for reconciliation? He shows foolishness on their part. Why do you have to call somebody who has already told you he's not going to work for the party that you are trying to reconcile? Then for Peter Obi, like he said as well, Peter Obi should go alone. He should not join. He should not be a deputy to Atiku. If Atiku is really interested in making Nigeria going forward, let him support Peter Obi. Let Peter Obi do 4 years. That's
All right.
to give Tinubu.
All right. I have to go to Tilakwe. I have to go because of time. We'll be right back after this break.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Helps mom pour her love in the tasty, nourishing meals she cooks for her family. Golden Terra Oil, pour pure love.
Shalatam, quality anti-malaria, contains Artemisa and lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Shalatam is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Shalatam from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Shalatam is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
But why? No, see, say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull Rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull Rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
That special secret that awakens taste buds. Mouth-watering wonder with awesome aroma. Terra Seasoning Cubes.
Terra Seasoning Cube turns your meals into a masterpiece.
Unwrap joy, unleash taste. Hey, come cook with Terra Cubes. Come cook with Terra.
I am Malario, the king of malaria parasites. My mission is simple, to take over your body, to cause fever, chills, headache. But one thing stands in my way. Come on.
Effective relief from malaria. Comal on malaria. gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult doctor.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347*880*3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347*880*3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Unstoppable you, fueling your vitality the whole day through. Embrace each challenge with renewed might. With Supermalt, your performance takes flight.
With 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, one Supermalt multivitamin after breakfast every day keeps you going.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire, their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight, each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher, the battle returns and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Fan Battle 4 starts Tuesday, June 3rd through July from 7 p.m. weekdays on Nigeria Info.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Millions of listeners trust us on Handbags. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome back from that break. We're still looking at the big 3 stories, the big weekend stories, I beg your pardon. National carrier off the table, says Festus Keyamo, and federal government is about to demolish the old wing of the international airports in Lagos. Is it necessary? Well, Wike has pulled out of reconciliatory meetings with the PDP, and he blames it on Oyo State Governor Makinde. Well, marketers are kicking against the idea that the Port Harcourt refinery needs to be shut down again for maintenance. And of course, there was a row over the weekend at that coalition meeting where the Jigawa people were saying, well, we can't decide who's going to speak for us. And then, of course, it was a rowdy session. But then Peter Obi speaking about how much money and resources we have in the north, but allowing for it to waste because we have not dealt with the issue of insecurity. I'd like to hear your thoughts on all of these stories. 0201-277-0993. That's the number to call. 0201-465-71904 for the ladies. And if you are listening from outside of the country, you want to call and be part of the conversation, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Or better still, you can call us on WhatsApp if you are in the diaspora, 0809597580. Or better still, send me a message. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. Anybody home? All right, call me back, please. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Maskamu.
Good afternoon, Joy. How are you?
How was your weekend?
Great. I can't complain.
This is Joy from Mariba.
All right, go ahead.
This refinery, they are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The more you look, the less you see. After they have finished the money, they are now telling us. But they told us that the refinery is working.
Yeah.
That the trailers have, tankers have started loading this and that. Why are they complaining again?
Mm-hmm.
That means they did not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a minister for petroleum, who our president. That means they are not doing anything. It's too bad of them, these politicians, propaganda there and there. It is one. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you very much, Joy, for calling. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
It's Emmanuel, and I'm speaking to you from Ekpe.
Go ahead.
IDC can look 200 million Nigerians, more than 200 million Nigerians, and in scammers. And in the worker for Nigerian streets today, it is unfortunate. For Wike was never in a reconciliation meeting with the PDP. In fact, everything he said, that Makinde was the one who is destroying the party or whatever, Mba of Enugu. I think it's just a script that three of them has act, to further destabilize the party, in the next election. And if we want to go, with the books administratively, with evidence and everything that has happened so far, Wike should be expelled from the party. Because you can't be in one party and then be saying you want to work.
Emmanuel, can I ask you a question quickly? Why do you think that the PDP has not mustered the, the guts to kick him out of the party? Why do you think that is?
Maryann, it's because of corruption. Nobody at that top level in the PDP administration who can confidently say he has not been receiving money for cola from Wike. Nobody, none of them.
You're making a very hefty allegation. I will not allow that here.
No. Listen to me. If any one of them dare opens up today that they want to expel Wike or whatever, Wike is going to leak their secrets. How they came begging to make them either vice chairman, national chairman, or what have you. He did it to Ayu. That Ayu was begging. And if Damagu just open up or try to make a step, of expelling Wike, Wike is going to expose him. We don't have a practicing democracy system in Nigeria of which the system throws the best, irrespective of your backing or what have you. And that is what is happening to PDP today. If the system was fair, electing people, fairly, squarely, into position,
all right.
Which you don't need the backing.
Emmanuel, let me let you go. All right. Thank you very much for speaking. Let's let others get into the conversation. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Deborah, calling from Wike and Sherry Ocean.
Hello, Deborah. What are your thoughts?
My take is about the Port Harcourt refinery.
Okay.
I don't want to believe anymore about the government talking about Port Harcourt refinery and Warri refinery. They've not been transparent in telling us how many products the refineries are able to produce in a day. And yet they keep talking about maintenance. No transparency, no accountability. And where is the former NNPC boss, Keyamo? Why have they not picked him up for questioning?
Well, the EFCC says they're investigating, so would also remember to drag them back here to tell us how far they've gone with that investigation.
Because I don't know what to believe anymore about the refinery, and they keep talking about 2027 when we're in 2025.
Okay, all right, Deborah. Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate your thoughts. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. This is Boyeson calling from Afromedia.
Boyeson, how you doing now?
I'm very small. I just did like that to my dear sister. You see, honestly speaking, I don't know up to now. I don't know why if you ask me, I as Boyeson, I don't know why the PDP refused to expel the so-called Wike up to now. So I don't know. Maybe they have their reservations, so I don't know. But then, whatever they have as their own, is their own responsibility anyway. But then, they gave that man the powers to be acting as if he is the demigod we have. Otherwise, what will you be doing in the PDP up to now? Why are we still listening to him as a PDP member? For God's sake. Get as a B now.
Thank you, Mason, for calling.
Get as a B. Get as a B.
Thank you for calling. If you ask me, I really don't know what exactly to say, because if I find out that someone's constantly, knowingly, intentionally boring a hole in my roof so when it rains it leaks into the house, and I know who it is, but I try to say, well, let's just patch it and hope that he doesn't, put in another hole. And then right after we patch it, he puts in another hole and then tells everybody on the street that I'm the one who's doing it. I'll call the cops. If I can't rein you in or beat you up properly, I'll call the cops. But in PDP's case, they're playing the ostrich. I also want to talk about the fact that just last weekend, before the weekend, Peter Obi told us that he was not part of any coalition and he was going to run again on the platform of the Labour Party as a sole candidate, yes? But then on the weekend, we see him at that coalition meeting. I'm so sorry, mixed signals. Which one should we take? What's the... I just want to know. Okay, hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann.
Good afternoon. Yes.
How was your weekend, though?
Thank you very much. It was beautiful.
Oh, wow. I see him now. You did your voice. Nice one.
I slept most of it, yeah.
I did, Jerry. Maryann, believe anything anybody says at your own peril, though. I've said my own. You're asking questions. You think they will answer you. It's not about us now. Even today, you know that they don't really care about us. I beg you. Maryann, everybody is just in for the cash of it. Everybody is just cashing out and closing out. See, whatever they say today, black or white, EFC investigating Peter Obi. This time around, nobody should trust anybody. It is what it is. It's only when you see the optics playing out, not the hearsays, not the fallacies.
So the question is, I don't know. So anyway, I'll just leave that question for later. I don't think you're the one to answer it.
Oh yeah, talk him now.
Mr. Wally, thank you for calling.
This is that the more you look, the less you see.
Thank you for calling. I'm really, because what you cannot have a balance in a democratic process, because everyone's talking about one party. It is not a one party. It's just the domination of one party. But then, how do we have the voices of the other side of the divide? Because we can't also say that there are not people who support Mr. President. Of course, there are lots of people who support the president. But for those who do not support the president, for them to have a balance of sorts, where's the opposition? Where's the voice that might represent those who really are hungry, tired of the, in the words of Mrs. Oboli, abracadabra that happens within the polity? Those who were made promises to, and those promises have not necessarily come to fruition. Today we are having the spokesperson of Mr. President, Sunday Dari, join us to talk about Mr. President's 2 years in office. I'm waiting to hear what he's going to tell us. There's a lot that's been done, but can we feel it is the question. So with all of the scrambling and the huffing and puffing between the PDP, the Labour Party, the NNPP, who's going to save Nigeria? Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're not a woman. Don't call the female line. Bye. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this is Chike calling from my papa.
Go ahead, Chike.
Yes, you guys are misunderstanding some of the things that is going on. If you is only a foolish man that will let his enemy know the direction he is going. Your enemy who is looking for you to kill you. So Peter Obi is trying to adapt to the tricks of Nigerian politics. So they wouldn't want to let the ruling party know exactly what their plan is. So when you get to the time, they'll catch them unaware and neutralize them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. So you think that Obi is playing a game? Well, let's see where that leads us. Let's go to social media. I'd like to read your messages. We're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. I'd love to read your messages on WhatsApp. It's 08095975. On X, use the hashtag hardfacts. I would love to read your messages. I'm going to do my best to run through all of the messages as they're coming in. Let me start with Facebook Live. Aremu here says, hello Aremu. Darlington says, Port refinery shut down as a result of maintenance. Evidence to prove that APC is full of lies. The refinery has never been working, he says. Umar Ibrahim here says, every week comes with at least one dramatic headline called episode, thereby silencing the previous episode. These headlines keep the people engaged with endless and inconclusive decisions before the next episode. I totally agree with you. I'm of the school of thought that we allow ourselves to be distracted. And Shawara had said that there is obviously a minister for distraction because these stories keeping us, talking, and then we forget about the most important things. Like the presidency is going to come and tell us that they've done so many things. Are you feeling them? Can you see them? Have you benefited from them? Or are they all audio? Chioma Kingsley Walu here says, I'm surprised that Obi just running around. Why not remain in the Labour Party and allow God to use him? God is not a politician, Chioma, just so you know. Okay, love? Abayamil here on Facebook Live says, easy to condemn others. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about Obi that it's easy to condemn others. Sit at home has paralyzed the economy of the South. Is how much did Obi contribute to solve the situation? He says talk is cheap. Another angle. Kes here says Okoro done. What does this even mean? I'm just gonna move on from that message because I don't get it. Miss Kimberella here says this government really isn't taking its people serious at all. Rather, they're going about bastardizing the name of Nigeria. And Okorodon Chooks here says APC from 2015 till date are made up of people with questionable character, criminal idea, and scam. Nigeria is going nowhere, he says. Well, I hope that we are going somewhere, love. And John Bennett says shutting down the refinery that is not even working for maintenance is a complete joke. On YouTube Live, Jackson says, Real TV says Jackson 5 in Boala's voice. Whatever that means. That's G5 there. Son and Tava here says, please, regarding the coalition, Atiku should step behind the bar and allow generational thinking minds to go forward. Okay. And Emmanuel Igwebulam here says, Nigerian politicians can't believe their luck in this country because what's the level of tolerance that we give them? Fingers pointing back at us. All right, on WhatsApp here, Aderemi, you sent me a whole 10 paper. He says, expel Wike by which exco of PDP. Any attempt of such will openly tear the PDP umbrella into many factions as the ESCO members loyal to Wike will expel Atiku, etc. And rougher fights will start. Many of the governors, senators, political leadership of the PDP were allegedly on the payroll of Wike at one time or the other. Allegedly. This one says, please, Peter Obi should merge with another party. If he does, it will affect its followers. Okay, if he doesn't, I'm sure that's what you meant to say. Okay. This one here is from Uche in Songo. Uche says, only a fool that will believe Wike is the only problem of the PDP. This one says, Maryann, nobody in the PDP can expel Wike because they can't repay him. Remember when most people left the PDP to APC before the 2023 election? Wike stood as the voice of the opposition. He spent a lot of money at the time to fund the party, so that's the reason why they can't expel him, because they cannot repay him now as the party is dead broke. If they try it, he will take them to court and claim huge damages. Really? I guess they should all leave the PDP for him alone and set up another party. Lawrence, bright idea. I love it when you guys come up with these things. This one says, good day, Maryann. My take on Wike is pulling out of the peace talk. I'm sure the condition given to him will not favor APC in 2027. That's why he doesn't want to settle with the PDP. Okay. And John from Ijaniki says, Wike said he will work for Tinubu in 2027 and PDP is calling for reconciliation. Means PDP is not serious. Maryann, it says, good afternoon, Maryann. Just picked up to call, but that's your just said it for me. Let me just listen to you and other callers' wonderful submissions. It's Monday. No need to start it's depressed with happenings in the country. You do well. Kingsley from Port Harcourt. Thank you, Kingsley. I'm coming back to the phone line. 60 seconds is all you have. 0201-277-0993. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. Hello. Oh, sorry about that. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello. Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. My name is Sonny, calling from Orule.
Go ahead.
You promised us 2 weeks ago that you bring last man office to the board.
I apologize. I've not been able to get them, but when I do, you know I always deliver. They will come.
Okay. That's the problem. At this early morning, at Marina Junction, UBA there, last man blocked the whole road. Because to go to the arrest public bus. Coming to consent to seize this early morning task force, to seize this early morning task force block motor. If you are coming to Oyinbo, coming to CMS, to come towards the relay, that big road, they turn it to one lane. So they're able to have access to the arrest motor. That's work of last man task force there. Is it with that how we are going to run this country every day? Corruption everywhere. I beg, help us talk to the authority.
We have to bring last man here to explain themselves to us. Thank you very much for calling. Because last man doesn't even show up to work. Oh, they are showing up to that place because there's money there. Okay. Because the traffic lights are not working, there are no traffic wardens. Like I said, it's the kids. So sometimes there's nobody. We driving like this, like mad people. I know. I've got just 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to try as much as possible to run through all your calls. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Okay, for me, Peter Obi cannot do this alone, the Labour Party. We have seen that the Labour Party and other parties have been infuriated. So he cannot do it alone with the kind of politics we play in Nigeria. Nigeria is a different terrain, and we all know that. In the very same clan, anybody can come out and say, we don't have independent candidacy, we don't have strong parties that have ideology. So what do you do? If you want to change a course, what do? Do you say, I want to stay that place? Like Showore that is there, he has been coming out for every election year. What impact has he made? This is not about Aluta or whatever. So for me, Peter Obi is doing the right thing. And he's not going to bring out all his card at once for them to see. So everybody's playing game. It's a chess. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day.
Even the president said that it's a game. So,
Yes. So you cannot just say, why is he jumping from here to here? Of course, you have to look. You have to also draw from other regions, because that is the kind of politics we have here. If you want to make a change, as you are, Maryann, now, will you just say, oh, I am the only sane person and nobody should come around me? All the bad people, everybody go. And you know your system. So you can't do it alone. You have to also dine with the devil with a longer spoon. That's what you just advise.
All right.
With a long spoon and see what happens.
All right. So, thank you very much. I have to let you go, Joy, because of time. I need to run through everybody's call. So everybody has to be heard. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. Call me back, please. Turn off your radio when you call the radio station, okay? Hello. Hello. Anybody home? All right, call me back. Thank you very much. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello. Hello, Maryann.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Prince Wise, calling you from Amodo. I think the PDP coalition, the UB, the Council, all of them, they have to agree. But they were playing politics as if they are not they are politically illiterate. The best thing to do is to enter the University of Politics built by Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Because if you want to go to that Asura, you must know how to play your game. Look at Atiku. How many times has he been contesting now? 3 all the time. They must put their heart together and have a strong opposition to challenge the party. And when you talk of Wike is asset to Nigeria. Wike is working for Nigeria.
If really like they should sack him. Let the date man concentrate in work that's going on in Abuja.
All right. Thank you very much for calling.
Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling. Olusoga Ajayi on X says Obi should be careful. This is a trying period for him and his years built integrity. Okay. From all indications, it's clear Nigerians are not comfortable with El Rufai, and desperation and pressures should not push Obi into a liability alliance. Obi should be cool and calculative this time. Is there anything to pick from, really? If I were in his shoes, as a Nigerian, who do you pick from? Is there like a group of cool cows that you can just say, these are the people I want to roll with? Is there any politician that has clean hands like this? I'm not saying that, some hands are cleaner than the others, but you know what I mean. They say it's a dirty game, so you've got to roll with the pigs in the mud, yes? Mm-hmm. Joy Forever here says, National Carrier, just like Port Harcourt Refinery, is a ruse. We said it, but people were praising. Saw it otherwise because of their selfish ends. PDP is too weak to expel Wike, but he will do self-destruction. Obi can't win without a coalition. People should understand how politics works. Be calm, he says. Okay, Joy, thank you very much for your message. I've got to go on a break. On the other side of the clock, Yvonne will be on the top of the hour. Yvonne will bring us the news. On the other side of the clock, on Checkpoint, there's a lot that we need to talk about. Yes. So you don't want to miss it. And last night is also top on the list. Don't worry. We'll be back after these messages. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Be part of the system that shares.
The station where you matter.
So you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube.
More talk, news and sports after this.
Good tasty food is worth living for.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.